Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. This side Rahul here is the Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting LLP. And this time we are covering a video on fixed income curve. Theoretically speaking, there are many types of fixed income curve. Like the first type of fixed income curve, theoretically speaking, is well, if you look at the books, then there are multiple type of fixed income curves. One is steep, one is flat, and one is invert. But this is theory. Did we ever thought, for a minute, let us look at a practical before moving to this video. Practically, the curves are like this. And there are some curves who are like this. This is known as, this phenomena is known as, which I am writing slash, this is known as mean reverting. And this phenomena is known as volatility clustering. And this is known as humped curve. There are variety of practical curves which we do not have in the books, because theoretically speaking the curve should be like that, but practically speaking curve should be like that. But even though for a minute we assume that we have this curve or this curve, did we ever thought that what are the three constituents of a curve? We always look, curve is the term structure of the interest rate, whereby you have time here and you have yield here. Why I am referring negative yield also? Because there are many countries across the globe those who have the negative yield. Example Tokyo, example Swiss, example Europe. There are many countries who have the negative yield. Henceforth, the implication of a negative yield is not a theoretical now. It is a practical concept now. But that is a separate part that books are not coming. Books are not taking care of that. But let it be. Did we ever thought whether the curve is that or the curve is this? What are the three practical constituents of a curve? Now, the three practical constituents of any curve, and especially these practical curves, not these so-called theoretical curves, is this, which is the market rate expectation, which is the bond risk premium, third, which is very important, which is convexity bias. Now, which is convexity bias. Now, in the market rate expectation, you have two, which is this further categorized into three parts. And believe me, all these three are mutually exclusive to each other. So, if you are thinking that they are not mutually exclusive to each other, you are wrong. All three are mutually exclusive to each other. One is pure expectation theory, one is liquidity theory, one is preferred habitat theory. Now, what is pure expectation theory? This is on the expectation that, oh, if like that, this is pure expectation theory, practical. If it is going up and up and up, right? I will not mention again, this is time and this is yield. If this is going up and up and up, it means that there is some drift we have. Example, this is 5th year, and example, this is 8th year. I am deliberately taking the portion which is known as value of the curve, although technically value of the curve is 5 to 10 years, but still, hypothetically speaking, let's take 5 to 8 years. For a minute, take 5 to 8 years. Now, this means that market expectation theory suggests that if you are here, you have certain expectation, pure expectation that yes, if you are taking some risk here, you would be taking some risk at the 8 also, but there is some benefit which you are getting. Unfortunately, we are not terming this as a benefit. We are in practical language, in a trading language, we are terming this as carry. So I would be writing like this: carry of 5 minus, carry of 8 minus carry of 5 would always be greater than 0. Another is the liquidity theory. Now, liquidity theory suggests us that as you go higher, in a practical scenario, I'm not talking from a theoretical or a bookish point of view, because those bookish theories have nowhere relevant to the practical world. As you move higher, the liquidity of a bond would decrease. Taken an Indian example, the 10-year US, 10-year GSEC would have having the highest liquidity versus other bonds. Take the US example, which is 10-year USD is having the highest liquidity. So if a person who is here and he is moving higher, if he is at the 5th year, he is moving toward 8th year, then of course it means that if the interest rate is going up, it means certainly there is a liquidity which is pushing it up. Of course, that is the bookish. But if you go practically, It might possible that liquidity could dry in a day or so, and that happened number of times. In the bond market, we have saw a number of times when the liquidity dried in a day. So yesterday it was a bull show, now it is a bear show. Now what you would be doing? Third is preferred habitat theory. Now everybody is having a habitat. Habitat in the sense like there are people who wanted to be in a safe category. Some are risk averse. People like me are risky. So you always wanted to be a preferred habitat. And if we compare preferred habitat with the time, we can connotate that in the sense like people wanted to be in the 3-year category. They wanted to be in 5-year category. They wanted to be in a 10-year category, and so on and so forth. This is all about preferred habitat theory, right? Besides that, we have two other factors, which is bond risk premium. This is very subjective, because if we especially take these countries, pigs, then you know that the risk premium of a bond is very, very high. These are the countries who currently are facing high haircut, and this haircut is growing. I don't know how come these economies are able to survive right now and able to take up a funding, still be able to take up the funding. But tactfully speaking, bond risk premium is a very important thing. If today government of India is offering a 30-year bond, I strongly doubt that many primary dealers would come and buy this. But on the other hand, if US government will offer 30-year bond, considering the actions which Trump is doing, I suppose that people will come and take this up. Then is the convexity bias. This is a very beautiful thing if the traders would like to understand, and very important thing. In the convexity bias, what it is happening that every bond, suppose we take two bonds, bond 1, bond 2, bond 3. All three bonds would have a different convexity, and since all the three bonds would have different convexity, so when they talk with each other, the convexities would be different, and the trading would completely be different. So in nutshell, the fixed income yield curve would have three setup: market rate expectation, bond risk premium, and convexity. In my personal opinion, this is very bad. Last but not the least, we would like to tell you that we are coming up with our fixed income portal. The research has already been started. More or less, we are starting the beginning of the fixed income portal on 15th of May. We are starting this, and in 1 year we would be able to come up with a fixed income portal. So this is an introduction to our capabilities to the fixed income model, although we have several videos on our fixed income. Thank you and have a wonderful time.